with eyes that would glow. She was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know. So why did I give my heart so fast? It never will happen again. But I was a mere child of 16. Well, I've aged a year since then. But she was only 16. Only 16. Oh, but I love that girl so. She was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know. She was only 16, only 16, but I love that girl so. She was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know. Thank you, Jim. Welcome to Cunninghams, everybody. It is now Friday night, pub night at home, the Sessions. I got it right?
Got it perfect, buddy.
Perfect now. Now, is this our fourth week or our fifth week?
This is our fourth week.
It's our fourth week?
It's our fourth week together.
And we were kidding when we started, right?
And we had an iPhone, remember?
That's right. We had an iPhone. Yes, and
well, listen, Jeff, there's a great point. Listen, last week with the Sessions, we hit 10,000 views last week. And
10,000.
And Matt and Ozzy and the guys put a video together with your dedication to Nova Scotia.
Yes.
And that hit 10,000 views across Canada. And the amount of feedback we got from people, I just want to say thank you for feedback. But people were so touched, buddy, by that.
Wow, really?
It's fantastic.
That was awesome. That was really tough to squeak out, too. I have to admit, I was getting a little misty-eyed playing the thing, so any choking sounds you heard in my voice were real. You know, like, you can't fake that kind of thing.
Beautiful.
But that's great. That was, yeah, I was glad we did that. Listen, when we started this thing, we weren't kidding, but we thought we were going to do it once, right? And then people wanted us to hang around, which is a rare thing for me anyway. And we managed, with the help of some of our local characters, to collect a whole whack of money for the food bank in St. Anne's. We did Meals on Wheels, right?
Yeah.
And I thought this week, again, we're not a fundraising outfit, but there is an outfit down the street in Point Claire. Is that where they are?
I think their office is out of Pierreful, if I'm not mistaken.
Out of Pierreful?
Yeah.
It's called On Rock, right?
On Rock, yeah.
Right.
Led by Kim Reed, a great
Kim Reed,
guy.
that's
Yeah.
the guy's name.
Great guy.
They run a service that they have a food bank, okay, which everybody is using right now. And they also have what's called, is it Neighborhood Diner, or it's
Community
something?
Diner.
Community Diner. And you can go in there, like, you know, if you need to have a meal and you want to be served a meal, they'll serve you a meal as if it's like in a restaurant, but it's not a restaurant. And I think they do it for like $2.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you can go in there, you know, and if you have a family and you're short on cash, they'll feed your family for $5. All right, that's what they do. So they run that, and they also have a school lunch program.
School lunch program for the kids who can't, don't have
Okay.
enough food when they come in. And
Right. So, Matt Cool, you're back in the liquor locker, way back there. Could you put the? Do you have the screen thing?
yeah, it's on there now.
It's on there now.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
On Rock, yeah.
All right. Oh, I can see it right. I got my own monitor. We're really moving up in the world, right? So yeah, it's On Rock. So they have their own organization. You can send some funds directly to them.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you can, please do. They really need the food and the donations for their local community, and they serve everywhere around here, right? It's
They support so many food banks in all the West Island.
They-
They hand out food to other food banks in West Island. So I'm telling you, it's needed now.
Yeah.
We all know it's needed. Yeah.
We learned that today because we
Yeah.
visited a food bank today, Jim and I,
St. Anne's.
saintly as we are, and we found out that they all share their food.
That's right.
You know, we found out that some people in St. Anne's don't like a certain kind of food, so they ship it off to, what's the town where they love that food? So they kind of have a deal going where they, you know. Anyway, so if you could spare a few bucks of change, please send it to the On Rock organization this week. I know they'd love it. And Marty Silverstone, you might want to jump on that one, buddy. Okay, thanks. We had a couple of requests several weeks ago from a guy named Alex Shank. He was a local guy. He's a Navy dude, right? He's a veteran, and he does a whole lot with the a Coast Guard now. So, Alex, if you're watching, I managed to trade some wheels for my car because I'm giving my car to my son soon. And Alex had these cool mags, and I drive a Fiat, so, you know, anything, and it's a yellow Fiat. So anything that would make a yellow Fiat look cool, I'm thinking, my kid's going to drive it. So Alex said, I got these cool mags, and I said, I ain't paying a penny for them. So we tried to work out a deal, and the deal was I'm going to go to his house and play a show as soon as this whole thing is over on his porch. And he's going to give my son the wheels. I don't know what I get out of the deal. I'm losing the car. I don't get anything for the show. Everybody else gets something but me. You know?
Your son's gone.
What's that?
You get to get rid of your son in the car, no?
Oh, he's not going to leave. He's going to stay at the house and park the car there. And then when he needs insurance money, who do you think he's going to tap? Daddy Big Bucks all the way. Anyway, Alex Chank, you asked for this song, and I meant to play it last week, and I didn't get around to it. So I really want to thank Kurt Russell for his hair this week. I'm noticing I'm looking pretty sweet. So Alex Chank, this one's for you, okay? For the county, and I drive the main road, searching for the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire, I hear you singing through the wine. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. I know I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain. If that stretch down South Coast snow will never stand the strain. I hear you singing in the wire, and I need you for old time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. The county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. Yeah, Glenn Campbell tune. There's a lot of wacky chords in there. Jimmy Webb wrote that song, so.
That was a scene in Ozark, and if you're an Ozark fan, this year's a great scene with that song playing.
Is that right?
So, yeah, it was great.
And Ozark's wacky, man. Somebody was probably getting killed or something. Well, this is a beautiful song.
Yeah.
All right, we had a load of requests. I got a bunch of requests for this one. So I'm going to toss this one out to Reg Lachance. He is the guitar player in one of my bands, BSSR. So, Reggie, this one's for you, pal.
Let's get down to it. Hit me with your best
big guitar solo here. Greg, that's the coolest song. Pat Benatar. I saw her at the Forum, the old Forum, and I had second row seats for that. And she was just the prettiest thing in the world. And I couldn't have been, 16 maybe? So, and she had this really skimpy little black dress on and these tights. And I swear, Jimmy, as embarrassing as it is, I spent half the show like this. Just like, and I didn't realize her husband is the guitar player, and he's sitting right in front of me.
He's probably used to it. He's probably used to it, right?
He probably was. Yeah, he probably was. So, cell phones, Jim.
Yeah.
We all use them. We all need them, and we all love them. And but they are invasive. I mean, they're so pervasive that they've become invasive. Everywhere.
Yeah.
You're looking at one right now.
I am.
So there you go.
While we're talking.
And I got one going right here with a timer on it, so I don't blab on too long. There's an alarm that says shut up, and it's a special feature I got in the iPhone 15. Like I got the advanced model. Anyway, so when they've got to the point where they're so invasive that we have like Christmas dinner at my house, and all my kids come. I got 3 kids, right? And a couple of them are in their 20s. So they come, and they have their boyfriend and their girlfriend with them, and Noah, my youngest one, his girlfriend comes over too. So there's me and Melanie, and then there's the 6 kids, right? So there's 8 of us sitting there. And at the table, I won't allow cell phones. That doesn't work. Yeah. But afterwards, when all the dishes are cleared away, we start playing cards or something. Well, I'm sitting at the table, and I'm dealing the cards, and I'm happy, man. Everybody's there. But there's a phone. Everybody's got a phone on the table in front of them, sitting there. And the phones are chirping and making all the little dinging noises, and everybody's kind of looking down at it. They know I don't like it, but they do it anyway. And it makes me think, God damn it, I invited 7 people here. There's 8 of us in total, and now there's like 15 people around the table. 7 of them I didn't invite.
Right.
And thankfully they didn't eat anything, but they're there anyway. And the problem is they're interrupting. Everything those 7 extra people do is an interruption. It's like somebody walks in and goes, hey, and pushes you aside, says, I want to talk to that guy right now, the rest of you, never mind. And it really bothered me, and it reminded me one time I was with a friend, and he was telling me, my wife is always on the phone with somebody. I'm not sure who it is, and I think she's seeing another guy. And I thought, well, how do you know? And he said, well, people who talk on cell phones always do the same thing. They talk like they're talking in a tin can with string on it. They talk about this loud. And nobody around you wants to hear your conversation, but everybody's listening. So he says, and I listen, and sometimes I wonder who she's talking with. So I swore I would never make another record. Of course, I made a double album this year. And I wrote this song about that very thing, about finding out that your spouse is cheating on you by overhearing the telephone conversation. So this song is called 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, him, you, and me. Where do we go from here? Sugar and spice and all things nice, but harder times are coming, I fear. Well, we're driving in the car and your telephone rings. So you turn your face away and the radio sings changes, change all our plans. So you change all our plans and it changes everything. So 1, 2, 3, you and me, where do we go from here? Sugar and spice and all things nice, but harder times are coming, I fear. It's movie night with the kids and that same familiar ring. So you hide in another room and the children start to sing changes, and it's time for bed. I hope these children never see how I know this movie ends. Well, the math is easy, but the answers are hard. And by the time he leaves you, we're all broken apart. And so the next time your telephone rings, changes, you could change everything, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, him, you, and me. Where do we go from here?
Good song. Good original, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
People are calling out your hammer on the bar there, Jeff, beside you. Some people are saying, what's a hammer on the bar beside you for?
Where?
This side right over here. Hammer.
It's a hammer.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to assume, Jim, they're doing renovations here at the pub, as you can see. Look, there's even instructions here. Can you see that, Matt Cool? Oh, look, he's got all the writing. And clearly the carpenter forgot to put the hammer away, so we'll just leave it there as a prop, you know. All right, so years and years ago, my wife works at Air Canada. She still does. And part of the advantage of working at Air Canada is you get you get your flights a real good deal on them. You don't get them for free, but you get a smoking deal. But you're like the last guy to get on the plane. Like if a guy shows up with $50 and he wants your seat, he gets it and you get off. So my wife and I used to pick destinations where no one would go, so we'd be guaranteed to get on the plane. So we wanted to go to Trinidad one time. We thought, hey, man, let's go to Trinidad. A friend of ours said, forget Trinidad, man. Go to Tobago. And I thought, Tobago? Like Trinidad and Tobago. You always hear when you're growing up in school, the country of Trinidad and Tobago. And I never knew what and Tobago was. I thought it was like Antarctic or something, you know, and Tobago. But it's actually and Tobago. So Melanie and I, we get on the plane, we fly to Trinidad, and that's a long enough flight. Then we get on a really small plane, and we fly about 15 minutes to Tobago. We get off the plane, and we had made arrangements to stay. We rented a house. We didn't want to stay where the tourists stayed. We stayed on the local side. And we really loved it, you know. It was fabulous. We really learned how different the world was when we were down there. And we decided one night after we had settled in for a couple of days, we wanted to go out to a bar, you know, watch a band or something, have a couple of beers. So we go out to this bar. And listen, I mean, we're on the local side of the island, so we're the only white people, you know, the white faces in the bar. This is like, hello, tourists? And they don't get a whole lot of tourists in that one bar. So there we are, kind of trying to be invisible, you know. And they're playing this crazy island music, and we're just like, gosh, that's wonderful music, isn't it, dearie? And then at one point, they put on this song, and this is kind of a visual thing. They put on this song, and then it's like whenever we would put on the Macarena around here, or one of those tunes that everybody loved. People started dancing, but they had this really peculiar dance they were doing. And like, I'll have to show you, because and the girls would dance, and they'd be all bent over like this. They'd be like this. And they're doing this. And they're looking back, you know, and they're doing it. And the guys are standing behind them like this. You know, yeah. And they're digging it. They're not like doing it like for 10 seconds like I did it. They're doing it like it's an Olympic sport. So I'm watching this thing, and like the two of us are just like, well, so what do you think about that? So I said to Melanie, I said, well, would you like to dance? And she's like, no, and I said, well, do you mind if I ask somebody else to dance?
How'd that go over?
Man, that was it. I mean, I think we left shortly thereafter. So I wrote this tune. I wrote a whole album while we were on the island, and I wrote this tune, and it was called "In Tobago." And Craig Olson is a local guy, and he called me up. He said, "Jeff, I really need some thumb picks. Can you put some in a baggie, like an alligator bag, and leave them outside your house so I can do some recording?" I said, "Sure." Doug Miller, local guy, a couple of weeks ago, "Jeff, I really need some strings." So I'm thinking of starting a store, Anyway, so I wrote this tune, and he said, "Boy, I wish you could play that, but I bet you can't because the guitar parts are so hard and all the people singing." And of course, I did my Barney Fife. Well, I do all the singing around here, and I can do that easily. So here we go. So, Craig Olson, here you go, man. Sorry, let me try that again. I'll try that one more time. Sorry. Captain Brown Sugar, he got 2 holes in his boat. He wants to keep his ship in shape. He needs to keep that boat afloat. So he takes you out on the Booker Reef and tells you of a great big shark. But you don't have no worries, cause he don't come out till after dark. In Tobago, Lineman every night. Tell a few jokes and have a few laughs and la-di-da just right. I wanna dance the dance that they're dancing when they're dancing in Tobago. They got the bottom side way up high and the top side way down low. Sailor Sam, he's a foolish man and his name is Jason Bigwood. He got a great big gun and has too much fun and doesn't do things as he should. So he takes his new love to the quarter deck and she files her nails all day. And it didn't take long until Captain John just shoot that girl away. In Tobago, Lineman every night. Tell a few jokes and have a few laughs and la-di-da just right. I wanna dance the dance that they're dancing when they're dancing in Tobago. They got their bottom side way up high and their top side way down low. Juanita, she cried and cried all day. She fell in love with the Navy boy, now the Navy boy gone away. So she stole his gun and a bottle of rum, and she danced and drank all night. She found herself another Navy boy feels alright. In Tobago, Lineman every night. Tell a few jokes and have a few laughs and la-di-da just right. I wanna dance the dance that they're dancing when they're dancing in Tobago. They got their bottom side way up high and their top side way down low. They got their bottom side way up high and their top side way down low.
That's a great song, buddy. Well done.
Not too bad, huh? Pretty sweet. Yep.
Hey, Jeff, when you were on tour, everybody pretty much knows you're on tour Celine Dion for the last, what? Well, before it's canceled,
About a
4
year.
months,
Well, about a year, yeah.
Already a year?
Yep.
And
Already.
why? Also, not only am I one of your good friends, but I'm one of your biggest fans. And I was following on Facebook, and it was so cool to watch what you do when you pull into the new towns on your tour buses and you'd go to all these guitar shops. So I thought I'd put together some pictures today and just show some stuff to the fans that, like the guitar shops you drop by and see and stuff. And just wanted to ask you, like, what'd you do? Just go in and play or meet some owners or?
You put pictures of me?
Yeah, there's some pictures I think we have them right now. They're going to come up.
Oh.
Some pictures of, yeah.
Yeah, that's at Fuller's famous guitar shop, and I believe that's in not Fort Worth. I want to say Dallas, Fort Worth area. That guy right beside me is named Steve Lutney, and I met those 4 guys there. One of them's a salesman, and they were sitting there, and I came in with the bass player, and that's all I do all day. We get to town, check into the hotel, and then I go look for really good guitar stores. And I met these 4 guys, and we sat there literally all day, and then, just played guitars and talked, and I stayed friends with them. This is in San Antonio, I believe. That bass, if you take a really good look at it, it's been smashed. And there was 2 of them on the wall, and I said to the guy, "What's the deal with the bass?" And he said, "Well, what, do you want to take your picture with it?" And I said, "Yeah." So I told him who I was touring with, and I said, "How did this happen?" And he said, "That belonged to one of his clients. And the guy had been cheating on his girlfriend, so she took his 2 basses, and she ran them over with a truck.
No way.
And they broke that way. The necks didn't get broken. She broke the bass, all his clothes outside, his amps. I think she burnt his amplifiers.
Holy.
Yeah.
And now is he selling this, or he's fixing that, obviously?
No,
right?
he's keeping it. It's just like
okay,
everybody who comes in the store
yeah.
wants to talk about it. So that's that.
So basically, when you pull into town, so you pull in with the tour buses from the night before, you're overnight on the road type thing?
Yeah.
You pull into town, you got to be somewhere at a certain time, but you have 5 or 6 hours off during the day?
Yeah, some days, a lot of days we have the complete day off. After a show, we wait till about 11:30 till the traffic is all gone, because the places we play are big stadiums and arenas and stuff.
Right.
So we do a lot of NBA buildings and stuff. So we'll get on the bus at about 11:30 at night, and then we'll drive 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Sometimes it's 10-hour drive.
Right.
So we can sleep on the bus, and we have everything we need on the bus. We can live on it, but we always pull into town, check into the hotel, and some guys go to bed, but I start looking for guitar shops, or I had been looking for them the day before. Then I call up an Uber, and away we go. So I'll do maybe 2 in a day, 2 or 3 if it's a real good day.
Beautiful.
And spend the day doing that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Magic. I think do you have a guitar? Is that right from?
I do. Well, this guitar, I'll tell you what. As a matter of fact, this guitar I bought at the 12th Fret in Toronto when I was with Rock Voisin.
No way.
Yeah, way. And I think we were playing, I don't know if it was Roy Thompson Hall. No, Massey Hall. I think we were playing Massey Hall. And we had 2 or 3 nights there. And I had the days off. And I had been divorced a while earlier, so my girlfriend was with me. And, when you get a divorce, there's not a lot left in the pot after that. So we went to this guitar store, the 12th Fret, and this is when I first started shopping, like looking at really expensive guitars. And I sat down, and this store is fabulous, and they just deal with all the big stars. Well, so I sat down, and I said, I'd never seen a guitar like this. This is a Collings. It's made in Texas, and they're hard to find back then. Now you can find them, but they're not cheap. So I played the guitar for an hour, and the guy said, "Do you want me to change the strings?" I said, "Sure." 5 hours I sat in the store playing this guitar.
Nice.
And Melanie, my wife, sat there and listened. At one point, she went out to get a coffee, and then she came back, and I didn't really have the money to buy it. I mean, the thing was like $4,000 back then. Now it's like a lot more. And so I said to the guy, thanks, and I handed it back to him. And Melanie said, and we weren't married, it was just my girlfriend, She says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And she's like, she got to be like 5'2". She's not very big, She's like, "Hey, whoa, 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 hang on a second here." She said, put that guitar back in your hands. Even I can hear that that's the best guitar you've ever played.
Beautiful.
Buy it. Take out your wallet and buy it. And I thought, I don't have that kind of money. Too bad. Buy the thing. So I have the guitar from that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's when your tour with Rock was in.
That was with Rock Was In, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep, it's beautiful. So, that's that story.
Yeah.
Yep. And speaking of Rock Was In, right?
Yeah.
We did, what did I do the first couple of weeks? We did a Luba tune.
You did a Luba tune, that's right. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change the set list a bit, and I'll see if I can't remember this song, all right? It's like his biggest hit. So, Rock, try this out for size. No, I'll play it with a thumb pick. Sorry, I'll get it together. Seul sur le sable, les yeux dans l'eau, mon rêve était trop beau. L'été qui s'achève, tu partiras. mille lieues de moi. Comment oublier ton sourire et tellement de souvenirs. Nos jeux dans les vagues près du quai, je n'ai vu le temps passer. L'amour sur la plage désertée, nos corps brûlés enlacés. Comment t'aimer si tu t'en vas dans ton pays loin là-bas? Hell and things you do make me crazy about you. Pourquoi tu pars, reste ici? J'ai ton besoin d'un ami. Hell and things you do make me crazy about you. Pourquoi tu pars si loin de moi? Là où le vent te porte, loin de mon cœur qui bat. Pourquoi tu pars, reste ici? J'ai tant besoin d'un ami. Hell and things you do make me crazy about you. Pourquoi tu pars si loin de moi? Là où le vent te porte, loin de mon cœur qui bat.
I hope Rock was watching because that was a friggin' beautiful version, Jeff.
I hope so too. Yeah. I was on the phone with him last night.
Yeah, that's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Great guy. Wonderful. Miss him a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. We had a good time on the road.
We'll get to hear some road stories soon.
Well, some of them, not all of them. So I got some requests. Jimmy, listen, we're really getting big time now.
Love it.
All right. And it reminded me. Well, it made me think last week as I was talking that we're kind of like the Wizard of Oz, this whole odyssey that we're on. It just started with the two of us, like Toto and Dorothy. And we land in this...
Toto.
You want to be Toto? Okay, I'll be Dorothy. And we get here, and then all of a sudden, we're like picking up people along the way. We had Marty Silverstone kind of join the cast with his, fundraising stuff. And then we got Matt Cool and Ozzy Levesque. Right,
great guys.
Yeah, great guys. They come down and they're doing all the camera work. And Matt owns Aileron. That's the name of the company that's doing all the work. But the company is him, and Oz is his assistant. So we got those two, and I'm wondering who's going to be the next guy that we pick up along the way. So we'll see what happens. And all that to say, we're getting so big now, Jim. I'm going to put this guitar down.
Is that a guitar change?
It's a guitar change, yeah.
Wow.
And I'm going to take advantage, while I'm doing a guitar change, I'm wearing a shirt given to me by the Psych Ward.
Great bunch of people, Jeff.
Yeah, it's Tattoo Parlor in Dorval, right?
Dorval, yeah. Kevin Ward.
A
little Lachute boy from Laurentian Regional High School, where I'm from.
Really?
Yeah,
You're from
and
Lachute?
Joanne Watson, his girlfriend, also from Lachute also, too. But Kevin is possibly the top 10 tattoo artist in Canada.
Is he really?
He's an unbelievable artist and a good friend, and this guy, this tattoo parlor is just one of the best around ever.
Well, I'll tell you what, the shirt's very comfy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It looks good. A little free plug for them, too. When the thing is over, though, Jimmy and I might be getting our tattoos, our band tattoos or something, to commemorate the whole...
I get a picture of you on my chest. What do you think?
Yeah, you don't want a picture
right
of
in
me.
the middle with my gray hair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, the gray hair on your chest will match this,
Exactly.
Okay, so there's been a local challenge going on. Me and Doug Miller. Doug Miller, we talked about him last week. He's the
Another
guy.
great guy,
Yeah, he does. He's kind of the town music aficionado guy. Does all the boardwalk shows and everything. And he's a real good guitar player. Doug's a nice guy, good guitar player, and he plays completely different than me. And I had contacted him to play the Wizard of Oz tune, and then he, of course, threw the gauntlet down and said, "Well, you play it too." So I played it last week. Then, he's not happy with that. He says, "Oh yeah, by the way, Mr. Big Shot, you must be you put John Denver album on your Facebook like it's one of your top 10 albums. So why don't you play Rocky Mountain High, like one of the hardest tunes to play and sing at the same time?" Well, what do you think I did? I did my Barney Fife. Well, I could do that. So
Pulled out the 12 string?
I pulled out the 12 string, and this, by some coincidence, remember I mentioned last week I played in a band with Matt Cool. And that band was called, now it slips my mind, Simon Says. And one of the musicians in the band, I think he was the bass player, Tom McDonald, he sold me this 12-string, and I still have it. I've toured the world with this guitar. And I only replaced it about 4 or 5 years ago with another 12-string. So this one has been retired, but because my number one 12-string is stuck in a warehouse now with all the rest of it.
Celine stuff, right?
Celine stuff. This is the one I'm playing, but it's like playing with an old friend, It's like being a kid again, playing with your cars in the dirt. So there you go. So Doug Miller, this one's for you, buddy. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Climb Cathedral Mountains as far as you can see. Some things as far as you can see. seen it rain fire in the sky. You know he'd be a poor man if he never saw an eagle fly. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Thank you, Jim. And if you're going to play a 12-string, man, you cannot leave the room without playing this, because somebody somewhere at home is yelling it. Well, they're either yelling, "Sweet Madam Blue," right? Or they're yelling, or they might be yelling,
Freebird.
no, that's Craig McDevitt, man. We don't do the Freebird thing. Hey, do we have the no Freebird sign somewhere? Do we have that, Jim?
My technician, no. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
That's a... Do you know what that is right there? I'm looking at the monitor. Do you remember when we had Craig McDevitt saying no Freebird, no free, you play Freebird, and we said no, we made this sign, right? So I took the sign. I guess you thought we threw it away. I took the sign home, and before we went on the next week, my wife went to his house and taped it in the kitchen window, and that's it right there.
That's funny.
So Craig took a picture and he sent it back. So we're not playing Freebird, but I will have to play the 12-string song. So here we go.
Oh yeah, great song.
I give a little bit, I give a little bit of love to you. I give a little bit, I give a little bit of my love to you. There's so much that we need to share, so send a smile and show you care. I give a little bit, I give a little bit of my life for see that? You see that chord, man? You got to play that chord right? And if you play that chord right,
Yeah.
you become an instant rock star. You do. Oh yeah, you play that.
What was that last one?
Yeah, that's like the really high one, you know. You play that right, man, and a guy walks up to you with a diploma. He says, "Here you are, you're a rock star." And that's it. There's a bus. You can hear the bus idling in the parking lot. You get on that bus, and you don't come back. You become a bona fide rock star. And I know, I know, because I played it. I'll tell you why. Well, you have no choice, because until I start playing, I'm going to keep talking. So when I was in high school, I had a band called, what the hell were they called? Ride on Fifth Street. I never knew if it was Riot or Ride on Fifth Street. And it was a real good band. I was the youngest guy in the band, right? We had like Chris Savage. He played keyboards and saxophone, and he sang, and he was a real good musician. Kim Winemaster, drummer, local guy. Yeah, sure, Kim's around. His daughter's real good.
Morgan's a singer and guitar player.
Exactly right. And we had a guy named Andy Waldorf was the guitar player, and Rocket Rodney Ross played bass, right? And we used to, and I was the lead singer, so I was like the cutie pie with the long. I had blonde hair at the time. Now it's clearly not that anymore.
It's light blonde right now.
Is it really light blonde? If it gets any lighter than this, it'll be transparent. So it was a great band, and we covered like Yes songs and Genesis, and cool covers, rock and roll hoochie coo and stuff. And I think I got the gig because I had a 12-string guitar, to be honest with you. I was like the only guy around who had one. Yeah. So we played that song, and we got this gig in Pancor. It was called, back then it was a series of shows they would do in the summer called the Pancor Disco. And they would do it at the community center. What's the park up there? Near your place?
Right there. It's
St. Patrick's? Is that it?
St. Pat's.
What's it called? Ask it.
It's the Omni Center. It's at the Omni Center.
No, but it's there, but the Omni Center wasn't there back then. It was
Olympic Park.
Olympic Park. That's the one.
Olympic Park,
So we got this gig there, and they used to have it inside. So we'd never had a gig so big. There was like lights and a smoke machine and a stage, and there we are playing our tunes, and the place was jam-packed. But it was like people we knew. And there was a girl there. God, her name was Jane. I can't remember her. She was from D'Orion. And I wanted to go out with this girl, and I wanted to go out with her so bad. And I think she wanted to go out with me because she was like standing right there, like one row deep, She
like you were at Pat Benatar concert, same type of thing.
Exactly. But she wasn't looking at me quite like that. But so she's looking at me, and I'm playing, and I'm thinking, this is it, man. I'm going to nail this tune, and her face is going to melt off. She's just going to think, I'm it. So we're playing the song, and I'm thinking, yeah, man. And sing it tonight. So I'm doing this, and I'm playing a part, and I want to pose. Like I want to, do the fist in the air. So I'm playing the part, and I'm like, and Matt, cool. Wherever you are, man, back there, bring that camera up close to me. Come in a little closer. Not over there, over here. Look where I am. There you go. So come on over here. So I'm playing the tune, right? And instead of concentrating on the guitar, I look up at her, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and this is what comes out. And I'm thinking, look up, Jeff. You're gonna pose now, and this is what happens.
Oh.
And it's too late. I've started the pose. I'm looking right at her. I got my hand in the air, and this is ringing, and it won't stop.
Reverb?
Yeah, reverb, the hall. And this is the face. Oh, keep that camera here. Bring that closer. This is it. I'm like completely, I'm trying to hold the pose and be a rock star. And she's looking at me with this face. And it was horrible. It was like this pregnant moment. And then she looked away, and I had to collect my thoughts because I thought, man, that's it.
Did she walk back to D'Orion?
No, but before we started the next tune, she was talking to another guy, got ready to dance with him, and I'm thinking, damn. And it's like, Jimmy, I could hear the tour bus driving away with somebody else's dreams on it except mine. So to this day, I don't know if you remember 3 minutes ago when I was playing the tune, I was looking down to play that chord right. And I'm looking down a long time. And I'm thinking, don't mess this up, man. Everybody's watching. Here it comes. then you can pose.
Yeah.
So that was the story, and I'll try to remember her last name. Jane, she's the cutest thing in the world, man.
You know, playing that song is like a bartender pouring a perfect Guinness. You know, a good bartender
That's
or an
right.
average bartender. Same type of thing. You pour a perfect Guinness,
Exactly right.
same type of thing.
Exactly right. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we played. I had another song I was going to play now, and it was a request. So I'm gonna play a different request. So sorry, I'll get to you next time. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, and this was the heartbreaker of it all, we played this song next,
Oh, no, right after.
and I'm going to play it now, just to drive the knife deeper into my side. So this was a song, and I had to watch her dance with this clown, man, and I thought, well, I'm there looking in. So any of you ever gone to the high school dance, you'll know this pain. I know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Seem to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. You see, I begged, stole, and I borrowed. Yeah. Ooh, it's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah. It's why I'm easy. Yeah, yeah. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Chains on me. Well, I paid my dues to make it. Everybody wants me to be what they want me to be. I'm not happy when I try to fake it. No. Ooh, it's why I'm easy. Like Sunday morning, yeah. That's why I'm easy, yeah, yeah. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I wanna be high, so high. I wanna be free to know I do alright. I wanna be free, just me, yeah. But down, ooh, yeah, but down, yeah. Down, da, da, da. Sun, easy like someone. I'm easy like a Sunday morning, yeah. Ooh, it said I'm easy like sun, easy like sun, easy like someone. I'm easy like Sunday morning, yeah, morning, yeah. Oh, that's why I'm easy. Sunday morning. Thank you, Jim.
It's no Commodores, right?
Yes, it is. Man, Lionel Richie, we got to play with him, right?
Oh, wow.
On Star Academy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, nicest guy, man. Really nice. And I got him to sign one of my guitars. And it was so, like, I was a huge fan of theirs, you know. And after, I think it was after a rehearsal or something, it was a dress rehearsal. He had this real nice blue shirt on. And I went up to him, and I wanted to talk to him, and I don't know what to say to him. It's Lionel freaking Richie,
Yeah.
and he's standing right there. And he looks like a little guy on TV, but he's quite tall. So I get to face with him, and he's looking at me, he's smiling, you know. And he says, I said, hey, Lionel. He said, yeah. And I said, I just want a hug. Yeah.
Wow,
So he said, okay. And he hugged me, and I started to weep.
Crazy.
And like, it wasn't one of those shaking weeps, but it was close. So I pulled away from him, and there was a tear stain on his shirt. I said, I'm sorry.
You just signed it for him.
I don't know if he'd want me to sign his shirt. The shirt probably cost more than my guitar. And I was trying to rub it off, and he takes my hand. He says, it's okay, don't worry about it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, he was the nicest guy in the world. So can you imagine having to watch Jane dance with some other clown to that whole tune? And I'm up there singing my ass off, because I'm easy. And I'm easy like Sunday morning. It just did not work at all. How about this one? Yeah. How about a capo? In the same vein, I had a job once when I was a kid. My music teacher hired us in the summer to paint his pool. Me and my buddy Don Beaupre. And he went away on a vacation, so what do you think we did? He left cans of paint and paintbrushes. We thought, no, it was his deck, not his pool. We thought, oh, we're not going to do it that way. So we sat around the pool for a week, drinking sodas, living the high life. And he lived in Beaconsfield. His name was Ted West. He might still be alive, too. Good music teacher. And so we're sitting around the pool, living the high life, emptying his fridge, just doing everything we're not supposed to be doing. And there was a woman who lived next door. And it was the first time I realized that moms don't necessarily all look like your own mom. You know, like when you look at your own mom, you think, well, that's my mom. She got an apron on and she makes all the food and does all the discipline. But this one, I know she was a mom, but it wasn't the same version. So we're sitting around this guy's pool in our Speedos. You know, I had the little Speedo with the Mark Spitz stripes. Instead of stars, I had the maple leaf. So, you know, I'm sitting around the pool as skinny as a rake staring at this. And out of the radio comes this tune, and it stuck with me my whole life. So I'm going to play it for you now. You're a rich girl, and you've gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch girl, and you've gone too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. Say money won't get you too far, get you too far. Don't you know that it's wrong to take what is given you and so far gone on your own, and yet you're bound to give and you're bound to live for the thrill of it all. Well, 'cause you're a rich girl and you're gone too far, 'cause you know it don't And you say you can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch, girl, and you've gone too far. You know it don't matter anyway. Say money, money won't get you too far. 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 Get you too far. Yeah, man.
Hey, Jeff, I just want to remind people tonight, people checked in a little bit later on about we're raising money for On Rock Community Services, right?
That's right, On Rock.
Yeah.
They have, for those of you who weren't here earlier, shame on you for missing the beginning. It was actually the best part of the show. Everything after that is this. The first part was awesome, man. Then I did that chord and give a little bit, and it was downhill from there all the way. On Rock, yeah, they're an organization out in Pierrefonds, and they provide food bank, not just locally in Pierrefonds, but for the entire area. They have a community diner where you can actually bring your family to go eat and have a meal as if you were out at a restaurant. And they do, one I really like is the school lunch program.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like that, man. Yeah. Like, they feed kids at school.
Yeah, you know what, kids, a lot of kids come to school hungry. You don't learn, right? You know, no breakfast, no lunch.
That's right.
So Kim Reed, who's in charge of On Rock West Island, who's like an icon in the West Island.
Yeah.
And he also, his food bank, like we said, provides all the West Island.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, he's not just doing one area.
Right.
He provides for all kinds of people.
Right.
So I think that's really hip. And like I mentioned earlier, Jimmy and I are not, and of course now we have Matt Cool and Oz. We're not a fundraising organization, but if you can afford something, please send it to On Rock. Their address is on the screen. I can see it right now. Please send whatever you can. If you can't, that's okay too. Don't worry. No stress.
Yeah. You know what? I got to ask you something, bud.
Yeah.
This is our fourth session going on, right? So you toured with Luba. That was probably one of the first biggest band you toured with, I guess, right?
Yes, it was.
Luba, great hit. You played Luba before. You've toured with Pagliaro.
I have. I played a
Pag song. Tonight, Rock Was In. You toured with him. You played a Rock Was In song.
Yeah.
You've been Zachary Richard. You've been with, Kevin Perrin, Richard Seguin. But, you know, your biggest tour now is with Celine Dion. So I want to challenge you, and you haven't played a song yet by Celine Dion. So I'm wondering if you could play a Celine Dion song for us.
Yeah, listen, Jimmy, there's a really good reason why I don't play a Celine Dion song.
Are they hard?
No, the songs themselves aren't very hard, but to sing it anywhere near as good as she does is tremendously hard. I think you have to go for a whole other version.
But for us as laymen who don't see her, is she as talented when you see her in person on stage?
She is.
Is her voice, it's just incredible?
It's astounding. And
astounding, eh?
Yeah, we, in sound check, some artists are very, very limited in their repertoire. Like, they really stick to their own thing for whatever reason. The first time I played with her live, because I've done several of her albums prior, and like in the last 20 years, first time I played with her live was about 10, 12 years ago on the Plains of Abraham. And she had a big orchestra out there, and she wanted to beef up the band with an extra guitar player. So I got hired to do the gig, and we rehearsed a lot for that gig. She was already on a tour, so her actual band was playing at the Bell Center. And because they were on tour, they couldn't learn all the material because there was lots of artists on that show at the Plains. So they had to get like a B band in there. But the B band they got was, there were no slouches in the band. It was Scott Price and his TV band, and I was working with them. So they hired all of us, plus a 50-piece orchestra. Like, you don't get much bigger than that as a band. And we were rehearsing, and we had a special permit to rehearse outdoors on the Plains of Abraham at night. And so come 11 o'clock, you've been kind of going at it all day, and we only had one full day of rehearsals for that whole show. And there must have been 10 artists on the show. So the show was 25 or 26 songs long. We had to read music for the whole show. Anyway, at about 11 o'clock, we're starting to get tired, and we're winding down, and she had to learn all the other artists' material too. And this is when I realized, I had never spent any time with her outside of doing her records.
Right.
We're sitting there, and the band leader, Scott Price, because we're so used to doing TV, we have a huge repertoire. Like, every week some star would come in, and you better know how to play his tunes properly. So Scott says, he leans over, he goes, hey, Smallwood, we're all sitting around like this, and she's sitting on the riser right in front of me, just like. So Price says, hey, Smallwood, play a Doobie Brothers song. So I get in there, and I start playing, listen to the music. Well, the band kind of wakes up, And we figure, oh, we're going to jam this. One of us is going to sing it. She gets up there and she belts that tune out, every word, every syllable.
Wow.
And I thought, well, I didn't know she knew that song. She says, play another one. So I don't know, play Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, something. Wham! Out it comes. Words, everything, melody. And I thought, holy smoke. So fast forward many years later, I'm playing in her band, right? And we rehearse, and rehearsals are long and they're arduous. We get out there to play live, and she sings live, no word of a lie. First of all, I'm kicking myself, pinching myself, thinking, how the hell did I get here?
Right.
You don't have to bother asking, what are the sales tonight? It's sold out.
Right. Wow,
Period,
crazy,
okay?
yeah.
So you don't even ask that question. You get on stage, the production is so gigantic that you're just like kind of looking around thinking, okay, I'm going to do this tonight. She gets out there and she starts singing, and she takes that microphone, and from the first sound that comes out of her mouth, it's astounding. Like, you look at her, and I've caught myself many times, and I got these shades on that I wear sometimes on stage, so I can actually stare right at her without anybody knowing I'm staring at her. And in my head, I'm thinking, holy shit, how can she sing that well? It's unbelievable. So anybody who tries to sing one of her songs, I mean, you're putting your foot on a landmine. So, but me, I'm not going to back down from the challenge. I'm going to do my best. Let me see if I can... Okay, here we go. People often ask, what's my favorite song to play of hers? Is it the Titanic tune? No, it's not. That's a gigantic tune, and it's fun to play with the penny whistle, and everybody loses their minds in the place. She's got a whole whack of hits. And that's the trouble. When you put a set list together for her, it's like, okay, well, let's play this. Let's play this hit here, and then after that, we'll play 2 more hits over there, and then we'll squeeze another hit in between that. But this one is off her new album, and it's my favorite tune to play live, and it's probably one of the softest tunes we play all night. So I'll see if I can get through it. I would be lying if I said I'm fine. I think of you at least 100 times. 'Cause in the echo of my voice I hear your words, just like you're there. I still come home from a long day, so much to talk about, so much to say. I love to think that we're still making plans, in conversations that'll never end, in conversations that'll never end. Courage, don't you dare fail me now. I need you to keep away the doubts. I'm staring in the face of something new. You're all I got to hold on to. So courage, don't you dare fail me now. Not one to hide from the truth, I know it's out of my hands, but I won't let you go. There's no replacing the way that you touched me. I still feel the rush. Sometimes it drowns me till I can't breathe, thinking that it's only in our memories. But then I talk to you like I did then, in conversations that'll never end, in conversations that'll never end. Courage, don't you dare fail me now. I need you to keep away the doubts. I'm staring in the face of something new. You're all I've got to hold on to. So courage, don't you dare fail me now. 'Cause it's not easy when you're not with me. This world of madness goes faster now. And it's a train wreck, but I won't crash yet, long as your echo never fades out. Well, courage, don't you dare fail me now. 'Cause it's not easy when you're not with me. This world of madness goes faster now. And it's a train wreck, but I won't crash yet. Long as your echo never fades out. Well, courage, don't you dare fail me now. Thank you. Yeah.
You should be proud to hear you sing it.
I would hope so. Well, we're going to find out when we get back on the tour bus if I hear from management, you know, Smallwood, I really don't think you should be playing her songs live. You know?
Well done, brother. Well done.
Thank you. Well, listen, where are we late? We've gone over.
I think if people are asking for a couple more songs. One more song is up to you, brother.
I got another tune for you.
Matt Cool upstairs and
Matt,
control is cool.
Nod the camera if you're good. There you go. I think that means either he's gotten into the liquor locker stock, or that's a good sign. So I got a request from a couple of people, and us big shot rock star type guys, when we go on the road, we have guys like we have bus drivers and makeup people and hair people. Clearly, I don't visit the hair guy very often, but we have them there, and we have guys who tune our guitars. They set up our stuff and they tune all our guitars and things. So I have a guy who, you know, tunes my guitars, and he used to be with me. I started with him 30 years ago. His name is Jacques Foulem, and we call him Jack. And Jack used to, he had a lot of guitars to tune. Like just me, I had 7 or 8 on the road. Now I bring 10, and he'd have to tune them all up and stuff. And some of them I tune a little bit weird, like I'm doing right now. And I'd tell Jack, you know, Jack, you got to tune this guitar that way for this song. He's like, oh, come on, man. And he's got to do it fast, right? And we're bashing our brains out on stage, so he can barely hear anything. He's got to look at a tuner. So this is one of his favorite songs. So Jack, after all those years of torturing you, he doesn't work with us anymore. Probably because of me. But anyway, so this one's for you, Jack. Question method is the one to use. The 13 question method is the one to use. 13 question method is the one you gotta use. You wanna have some fun and now question number 1, do you wanna have fun? Question number 2, what to do? Question number 3, you wanna go out and eat a burger with me? You got a mate, and a 13 question method is the one to use. Now question number 5, don't give me no jobs. Question number 6, don't try no tricks. Question number 7, I'll pick you up at 11:15, baby. And a question number 8, it's a date. Now the 13 question method is the one to use. The 13 question method is the one to use, yeah. 13 question method is the one you gotta use it if you think you're gonna have a little fun. And betadine. Question number 10, can we get in? Question number 11, gonna be just like question number 12, we get by ourselves. Now the 13 question method is the one to use. 13 question method is the one to use. Yeah. I'm saying that the 13 question method is the one, you gotta use it if you wanna. 13 question method is the one to use. Now the 13 question method is the one to use. 13 question method is the one to use. 13 question method is the one, you gotta use it if you think you wanna have a little fun. And thank you very much, everybody. Hey, listen, we'll be back next week, right, Jim?
Yeah, back next Friday. If
yeah,
you're here, I'm here.
You're here, I'm here. I hope we can get to Oz and Matt Cool back. Yes,
Cross our fingers.
yes, great, perfect. So we're gonna try to get a new guy on the team.
Beautiful.
Until we see you next week, thanks for popping in. Don't forget about On Rock, and as always, please stay healthy, stay safe, stay informed, and don't be a fool. Stay home. See you next week.